Am I the idiot for dumping my boyfriend after catching him on Facebook dating and finding out he cheated the whole time? My boyfriend and I were in bed together 2 evenings ago and went through our usual routines of being on our phones and checking social media before bed. He went onto Facebook, and I glanced over and saw a notification from Facebook Dating, but I didn't question him on it as I wasn't completely sure. We've been together since May, and he's consistently told me he wants to marry me and spend his life with me, and that he can't wait to even introduce me to his son, who is 5 years old. I looked at his phone yesterday while he was in the shower, and lo and behold, he's getting matches on Facebook Dating. His profile has been active since before we were together. He never deleted it, despite telling me he had deleted all dating apps a week before we officially started dating. Then I found that he's messaged people as recently as August 9th, while I was on holiday with my parents. He's trying to excuse it with comments like, "We had an argument and you made me feel like crap," and "I only messaged them about their dog and I never replied when they replied," and "I didn't know it was Facebook dating, I just thought it was a part of Facebook." He's not that clueless. He's in his final year of a psychology degree. The most recent messages I could find on there were to 2 different girls, one on August 2, the day after I left his place after staying there for nearly a month, and then one on August 9th. However, he did get a match with one girl on the day in question, and another match while he was downstairs sitting with my parents while I was in the garden playing with my puppy. He's known for our entire relationship that one of my biggest fears is not being good enough for him or being enough in general, thanks to my low self-esteem from being cheated on in most of my relationships. I asked him if he could prove to me that he's not on any dating apps or has even remotely flirted with any other girls other than the 2 people from Facebook Dating, and he refused. He promised he hadn't, but he refused to show me anything, which makes me feel like he's hiding something. But he insists he isn't. He said he didn't want me digging through his life for the past 5 months looking for something that isn't there. Something in me is saying if he's done this when we've argued and he's run to a dating app without hesitation, there could be more that he's hiding. I want to believe him, but because of my history of being cheated on, it's incredibly hard for me to trust people, especially on something like this. He gets incredibly defensive and annoyed when I ask for proof or even when asking for reassurance. We both have borderline personality disorder, so I understand that it's annoying to hear the constant need for reassurance when someone won't take you at your word. And I understand he's been through hurtful relationships where people controlled him and checked everything he ever had, including his phone, day in and day out, and wouldn't let him go anywhere, to the point police were involved. I don't want to be that person and check his phone, even just once, but I feel like he's hiding something more. He didn't even try to defend our relationship or anything when I told him that this was cheating. He only said sorry and that he loved me when I prompted him to say it by asking if he still loved me and wanted me in our relationship. He got annoyed when I even made him promise last night that nothing like this would ever happen again. My question is, how do I know he isn't hiding anything else? How do I approach any of this in any way? How do I know if I'm being manipulated and treated as gullible? I've been cheated on a lot, but there's always been more substantial evidence, or they've just left without explanation. I don't know how to navigate this. I don't know if I should trust him. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I'm just saying, I'm strictly monogamous and believe cheating is wrong on every level. I would never even glance at a dating app while with my boyfriend. The fact that he has been making matches and is active on them should tell you all you need to know. Comment 2. He's trying to excuse it with mentions like, "We had an argument and you made me feel bad." So every time you have an argument, he can continue looking for another woman? No. Stop this now. This will never end well. Now for the update. A month has passed since the whole dating app drama. I thought maybe if I talked to him about it again, I could get some clarity. So I decided to confront him during dinner at this cute Italian place we used to love. He was all smiles, but the moment I brought it up, his mood soured. He claimed he deleted the app and literally asked me why I was still bothered by it. Like, really? He's still this clueless? I kept thinking about how he's been so distant lately. It's like he's in the same room with me, but his mind is somewhere else, probably glued to his phone. Even during dinner, he was just scrolling away. I suggested we spend the weekend together to make up for lost time, and he says he has plans with his son. I mean, I get it, but it just felt like an excuse, you know? We went to this family gathering for my aunt's birthday. She was turning 50 and wanted all of us there. I thought it would be nice to celebrate with family. But there I was, in the middle of the party, and he was texting under the table like a teenager. I couldn't take it anymore and asked him who he was messaging. He snapped at me, saying it was none of my business. The entire table went silent, and I could feel everyone's eyes on us. It was so awkward, like a scene from a bad reality show. After dinner, I stepped outside to call him out on his behavior because I was done pretending everything was okay. He accused me of ruining the evening, which was so typical of him. I told him I needed space to think, and he just stormed off. The next day, he showed up at my apartment with flowers and an apology. He was all like, "I want to work things out." I accepted the flowers because it's hard to say no to a bouquet, but I felt uneasy. It was like he had forgotten the whole reason I was upset in the first place. A week later, we went to a friend's wedding together. I was hoping we could have a good time and put everything behind us, but nope. He was acting all buddy-buddy with this female guest. They were laughing and whispering, and it made my skin crawl. I approached him and asked what was going on. He brushed it off, saying they were just having fun. I could feel the anger boiling inside me, but I tried to keep it together. After the wedding, we went home and I confronted him about the flirting. He denied doing anything wrong and accused me of being insecure. That's his favorite line, by the way. We ended up in a heated argument, and it just felt like we were going in circles. I knew I needed to take a break from this drama, so I decided to stay with my sister for a few days. During my stay, I saw on social media that he had been out with friends. He looked so carefree, like he didn't have a worry in the world. Then, I saw this comment from a woman on one of his pictures. She was like, "Had the best time with you," and I just lost it. After a few days, I returned home and found a letter from him in my mailbox. The letter was filled with empty promises to change, and I just rolled my eyes. At a family dinner for my brother's promotion, he showed up uninvited. My mom was so happy to see him, but I was like, oh hell no. He wanted to talk, but I made sure to keep it short. He mentioned how he missed me, but he still didn't understand why I was upset. I finally told him that I didn't trust him and needed to prioritize my own well-being. He got all defensive again, saying he's done nothing wrong. After that dinner, I made my decision. I was done. I packed his things and left them at his door. I wrote a note saying I couldn't keep pretending. He messaged me saying he was sorry and wanted to talk, but I didn't respond. A few days later, I saw him out with the same woman from the wedding. They looked so intimate and it hurt. But honestly, I was more focused on my own life. I reconnected with my friends, started going to the gym, and just enjoyed my independence. Later on, I got a message from him saying he wanted to get back together. He claimed he changed, but I knew deep down that there was no turning back now. Mini update: after the breakup, his friend reached out, sharing details about his ongoing dating app use. I learned he had been unfaithful during our entire relationship, confirming my worst fears. Now for the next story. I am a 28-year-old man and have been with my girlfriend, a 30-year-old woman, for almost 8 months now. Things have been perfect between us. Our connection is strong, we communicate well, we enjoy all the same things, our chemistry is amazing, and all the boxes between her and me are checked. However, I am having a really hard time with her 9-year-old son. When she and I first started dating, she told me that her son is really difficult. And boy, was she right. I don't think I have ever in my life met someone so disrespectful, mean, and ill-mannered. Anytime my girlfriend walks into his room, you immediately hear, "What do you want?" He talks back with a snarky attitude about everything. Any question that you ask him gets a quick no, even if his real answer is yes. Asking him to put his shoes on because we need to go somewhere, He yells that he can't do it because he doesn't know where his shoes are. They are by the door, as always. Then my girlfriend goes and grabs his socks and shoes and puts them in front of him and reminds him kindly that we need to leave and we're waiting on him. His response is, "Why are you so mean?" My girlfriend can be having a conversation with someone and he'll continuously try to interrupt, and when she says, "Remember, you need to wait your turn," he comes back with, "I said stop talking." And while my girlfriend continues the conversation, he's in the background just making obnoxious loud noises. When he asks for something he can't have, he becomes very argumentative. For example, he asks on a weekday if he can have a sleepover with his cousin. My girlfriend responds with, "Honey, it's a weekday. I'm sorry, but no." And his response is, "Why?" Then my girlfriend tries to respond but can't get 2 words in before being interrupted with, Why? Then she'll try to respond again, only to get interrupted with, "Why?" Again, this goes on for a minute. Then he'll scream, "Ugh, you're the worst mom. I wish I wasn't your son." He's an iPad kid, and when his time is almost up for the day, she'll walk into his room to give him a heads up that he has about 10 minutes left. Then usually 20 minutes later, she goes in to tell him it's time to get off. This causes a full-blown meltdown. He screams that it wasn't 10 minutes, yells at her that she's the worst mom, says he's not done yet, and demands it back, and starts getting physical, etc. While out at an outdoor mall, he asks if we can go to the Lego store to look around. We go there, and he grabs something and gives it to his mom and orders, "Buy me this," to which she responds, "No, honey, we're not buying anything. Maybe for your birthday or ask Santa." Then he shouts, "You said I could have something. You're such a liar," in the middle of the store. She pulls him out of the store to talk to him, and he just stops and full-on screams at the top of his lungs and then crouches on the ground. You can't ask this kid to do anything without a fight, and you can't interact with him without him having an attitude and yelling. He won't eat most of the time unless it's chicken nuggets or a hot dog. He won't follow any rules, and he is like this with everyone: friends, cousins, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc. He doesn't have any friends because kids don't like being around him. I've seen my girlfriend snap at him, spank him, take things away, wait for him to calm down, and then explain things to him, and nothing works. He continues the same behavior every day. My girlfriend shares 50-50 custody with the father. She says that how her son acts is a spitting image of his dad. Aggressive, argumentative, mean, unreasonable. And that worries her. Now, I don't just sit by when the outbursts and talking back happen. I back up and support my girlfriend, and I call the kid out when he's acting out, even though that does nothing. But I don't feel it's my job to discipline. Plus, the kid is already 9 and has been parented a certain way, and I'm an outsider stepping in. He already has 2 parents. After doing some research on my own, I'm pretty confident that he has undiagnosed attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and possibly is on the autism spectrum as well. My girlfriend asked me early on in the relationship if her son would cause an issue with me wanting to eventually get a place together. I told her no, thinking that he just needed a good role model and to see how I treat his mom. Flash forward to now, I've come to realize that being those things isn't enough. How he behaves is learned behavior partnered with a lack of discipline and what we believe to be mental disorders. My girlfriend and I have been talking about getting a place together when our lease is up this year. After everything with her son, I don't think I can. I had a talk with my girlfriend and told her that I am uncomfortable getting a place together yet because of her son's behavior. I need my home to be a place of peace and rest, and I don't have either of those on the days she has him. I worry that it'll bring out a side of me neither of them deserves. I don't want to build resentment or change the way I act because I'm uncomfortable around her son's behavior. I told her that I need him to get diagnosed and treated, and I needed to see improvement in his behavior before I'm willing to take that next step with her. While she understands where I'm coming from, she is upset and feels like I don't love her as much as she thought. I've expressed that it has nothing to do with how much I love her. It's not her. She and I are perfect, but I don't like her son's behavior, and I can't just look at her when pursuing a life together. I have to look at her son as well. And as of right now, I don't like him, and it wouldn't be good for him to have a man living with him who didn't like him. Love isn't enough to make a lifelong relationship work. Now I'm worried. What if it doesn't get better? Am I just wasting her time and mine? She can only do so much for him being in 50-50 custody and the father not being on the same page with parenting. What if a year from now there's still no improvement? At that point, we would just need to end things. I worry that things won't get better because her son's dad doesn't see much of a problem because he's the same way. I don't want to drag this on and have this all hurt even worse a year from now if we do need to part ways. My question is, am I a jerk for letting a kid decide on the fate of my relationship with a woman I deeply love? Am I doing the right thing? Should I just move in anyway because I love her even though I know I won't be happy in the home? Should I just end things now? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Are you ready for this child to become a permanent part of your life? Like, forever, in the event that you move in with her? His biological father could die or run off, and that would leave your girlfriend with 100% custody. I personally would never get serious with someone whose child I did not actively want to embrace as a permanent part of my life. You may love your girlfriend, but the child isn't going anywhere. You absolutely should not move in with her unless she is able to get his behavior under control. She also should not be talking about moving in with you yet, because that would be yet another destabilizing and traumatic thing for her son to go through. Comment 2. Leave. You will potentially become very unhappy and resentful towards her and/or her son. I married someone who didn't get along with my children, who started taking his resentment out on my children and me. Maybe you aren't like him, but why risk it? She's a package deal, so if you can't stand the child, just walk away because the child will always come first. I divorced my now ex-husband this year due to this exact situation. If you're not compatible with the child, you're not compatible with her, and by leaving you're saving yourself, your girlfriend, and her son significant grief. You're only 8 months in, don't wait years like we did. Now, for the update. It's been about a month since my last update, and I'm still with my girlfriend, but things are still tough. My girlfriend invited me to her son's school play, hoping it would be a good experience for him. Her son was cast as a tree in the play. I thought that was a harmless role. At the play, he refused to go on stage, throwing a fit backstage. My girlfriend rushed to calm him down, leaving me standing awkwardly in the crowd. After the play, he yelled at me for not being his dad when I tried to congratulate him. My girlfriend apologized for his outburst and suggested we talk later. She mentioned that she's been trying to manage her son's behavior but feels overwhelmed. We agreed to work together, but I noticed no real change in his attitude. His behavior got worse when he started refusing to eat dinner unless it was his favorite fast food. One evening, he threw a plate of food on the floor in protest, causing a mess. My girlfriend was upset and asked me to help clean it up, but I felt frustrated. I suggested a family meeting to discuss his behavior, but she hesitated. On Easter, we had a family gathering at her parents' house, which added more pressure. He acted out again during the family dinner, refusing to sit at the table. I tried to engage him in a game, but he ignored me and sulked in a corner. My girlfriend's parents expressed concern about his behavior, suggesting professional help. She dismissed their concerns, saying it's just a phase, which frustrated me. A week later, his father showed up unexpectedly at our apartment, wanting to talk. He confronted me about my role in his son's life, leading to a heated argument. My girlfriend intervened, leading to a chaotic scene where her son started crying. After his father left, my girlfriend blamed me for escalating the situation. She felt defensive but acknowledged that her son needs help. We agreed to seek family counseling but had differing opinions on how to approach it. His behavior continued to worsen, leading to more arguments between me and my girlfriend. At a family dinner with her friends, he misbehaved again, causing embarrassment. I tried to help by distracting him, but it only made things worse. My girlfriend later told me that I need to be more patient with her son. As tensions grew, my girlfriend suggested a weekend trip to help us reconnect. The trip was planned at a cabin, but her son refused to go, insisting on staying home. He overheard us discussing the issues and confronted me, calling me a failure. Thank you for reading. Edit. It's been a few weeks since the trip, and my girlfriend and I had a serious talk. We decided to take a break to focus on her son's behavior. She is now committed to family therapy. I still care for them, but it's tough being apart. I'm unsure of our future together.